Hey guys, I want to talk to you guys about two different guns that I think fill a very similar niche, but that I've seen a lot of interest in and that I wanted to walk you guys through. The first one here, which conveniently just fell off, this is the keltec CP33. I have just a really simple Pinty red dot and a cheap IR laser that also has a flashlight and a green laser on it. This is just a muzzle forwarder, so it's not a suppressor or a can or anything like that. It just pushes the blast forward, but mostly it just gets the edge of the barrel away from my fingers. Because with the gas pedal right here, I like to have the barrel a little farther forward. Now, the other one that is garnered a lot of interest is the Henry AR9. Typically, these have a more traditional looking stock on them, but this one has a folder on it. Basically, it just has a little pick rail back here that you can attach it to, and then you can put on your folding stock. This is a rifle, not a pistol, so this is a stock, not a brace, just to clarify on that. Now, they both have some different advantages. Right out of the box, obviously, this one is going to have a lot better velocity coming out of it, which means more power down range. Which is nice in a 22 because you want to have all the speed that you can have, especially if you're going to be shooting something like Stingers or any other high speed, right? High speed 22 ammo, that's something that you want and something that I enjoy. You can also shoot it with the stock folded, which is nice. It's not like an AR platform that has a buffer that has to run. Simple bolt operation right there. Obviously clear right now. And right now I just have a 4X prism optic, which I feel like is a pretty good range for 22. I'll typically either have this or just a red dot on it. As far as accuracy goes, when you break it down, and to break it down, you undo the barrel nut here, which you can see releases your barrel. That comes off, and then with the traditional model you can also undo the stock that comes out here, and then the gun and the barrel both slide into the stock, and you put the butt on the stock, and it has a waterproof O-ring there that will keep it sealed and for the most part waterproof. So, but even in this configuration, it still folds down and easily fits into a backpack or whatever it is that you may want to carry it in. So very compact, but that's after you take it all down. You know, it takes a minute to put it all back together. Compared to my MP7 at home, as I call it, you have a package that's about the same size, but is ready to go out of the box, and also has a much larger magazine capacity. Obviously, this one is also unloaded at the moment. So let's talk about this one. Big benefits. This one holds its accuracy better. Even though this one has the nice long barrel and all that, you get better velocity. When you put your barrel on, inevitably, you're going to get a small shift in zero. It's really actually not that bad. I am impressed by how well it maintains zero even with this very simple lockup system, but it does not hold zero as well as something like this. So this can actually be incredibly accurate, especially if you're using something like a cheek wield. If you're not familiar with cheek wield, it's where you put your hand over the front and then you do a cheek wield and you put your cheek right there and look through your dot. With a 22, recoil isn't really an issue, and so you can very easily control the recoil and not scope yourself with your red dot like this. Again, one of the reasons why I have the port forwarder on this gun, because if your hand's right here and you don't have that, your barrel is right here, and so I don't want to shoot my fingers off. There are also options to put a brace on this or a stock if you want to turn this into an SBR, get your tack stamp and all that, which obviously this is still a pistol. But there's a lot of different options for adding on a brace here, which would also add a lot of stability to it as a shooting platform. Personally, the one that I prefer would be the CP33 for the following reasons. Magazine capacity is the biggest one. Standard, this holds 33 rounds in a magazine, and you can get extensions that run up to 50. I have found that with the 33 round magazines, I get very good reliability if I'm running good ammo. With the 50 round magazines, I see more malfunctions. So I would prefer to have a 33 round mag and no malfunctions than a 50 round mag and 2 to 3 malfunctions per magazine. So that's just me. But that's the biggest advantage that I see that this has over the AR9. In addition, the fact that you don't have to put it all back together after you use it is a huge pro and something that is very nice. I mean, It's still going to take that long. I mean, let's time it here. So ready, go. Just slide this in, and that. Now, if it was in the stock, this would take a little bit longer because you have to pull it out of the stock. But even so, there we go. You know, probably took less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds. And you have it there. So still a good option, good deployment. I see this as a great bushcraft or survival knife, small game hunting, stuff like that. I think it would be great. I don't see this as a very viable self-defense option. Obviously, 22 has taken out lots of people. But if you're going to be using 22 for self-defense, I think you want more than 8 or 10 rounds in it. So that's the biggest drawback that I see with this in that kind of a situation. Versus 33 rounds of 22 coming at you in rapid succession, it's going to make a big difference. This also has a lot more options for mounting. In this case, I have a 3D printed foregrip with a gas pedal on it, as well as a side Picatinny mount. Now, obviously, as you saw, I don't currently have this bolted on here because I've just been playing around with this configuration, so it is just loosely mounted to the M-lock underneath here. And I have not bolted that M-lock rail back on because I'm still playing around with it. But 3D printing technology at home is getting to where it's actually very durable and reliable. There's a lot of new carbon fiber and nylon infused filaments that can take very high temps, as well as a lot of abuse, and they'll hold up very well. So 3D printing your own accessories for your firearms is becoming much more plausible. So that's something that's really cool about this. And there's also 3D printed kits that you can do to add on a stock. If you want to make this a rifle, get your tax stamp and all that, go through the proper channels, or add a brace to it and all that. So lots of different options with this. At the end of the day, they're both great guns. I love both of them. I shoot both of them. This is the one that I'll hand to a newbie shooter. It's lightweight. It doesn't intimidate them. They can still get a good grip on it. They can get their stock into their shoulder into it and really stabilize it and have good success starting out early. This is what I hand to him next when I want him to have fun. So they're both great guns. I personally love this one, especially if you have some night vision to go with it, and a can. Makes for a lot of fun with the IR laser at night. So there you go.